Welcome to my channel, Endless Roads. This is Old Copper Hopper Joe coming to you from Waffle House in America. I had to take off in the Philippines for a while. The reason why I had to take off was because Social Security. Um, Now, I don't know how this makes sense, but this really, it's something. Okay, I had trouble at first trying to get Social Security back in 2022. I finally got it. And 1 year to the date, I bought a ticket to come to America because I had to get a new bank card. I figured, well, I'll time it just when my Social Security comes in, so I'll have money to have some fun, do some things, stuff like that. Well, came for a time for my check to come in. There was no check. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a day late. I got 3 days to fly out, and next day didn't come in. Next day comes the day of the flying out, and I don't hear nothing. Like, send a message to Social Security office there in Manila, and I said, okay, hey, I'm just wonder if there's a worry, if there's a trouble or a problem or something because I have not received my check. No answer, so I call them. And they tell me to send a message. So I'm going to send another message. And the message, again, I pretty much said, well, it's 4 days. If there's some trouble, you should inform me. But they send me a letter with passcodes, and passcode didn't work. So, okay, now 2 days, and I have no clue what's going on. Uh, well, I mean, 2 messages, and it's been 4 days. I have no clue what. I got to get on the airplane. So I fly, and it takes me almost 2 days to get here. All the layovers, because I brought the cheapest flight, which requires several countries and a lot of layovers to get here. And I get here, and my brother picks me up, and I head to the Social Security office. And the Social Security office in there, and I say, hey, I need information. Why am I not getting my Social Security? And they have no clue. So they called Baltimore. Baltimore said, well, you didn't send in a form. I said, I never received a form. And this is why I'm putting this on here, because I want to give people that's in the Philippines, that's U.S. citizens, a head up for what's going on. And I said, I haven't received any form. I said, matter of fact, I've been in the Philippines now for 4 years, and I have never received a mail from anything from Social Security. And they said they give me papers all the time. I'm like, okay. So I go Social Security office, and I'm sitting there, and they called again, and they said, okay, it's a form 4472 or something like that. It's a big long number. And I said, okay, well, just give me a form, I'll fill it out. He said, oh, we don't have that form here. You have to go to Baltimore or get it or somewhere else. So, to make a little bit of a long story short, I went back to when I first applied for Social Security, because I had all the paperwork there, and I discovered that I actually filled that form out when I first got my Social Security, because you're considered international. You have to have this form. And I said, well, I already filled it out, so I just took it out, filled it out, and I take it in there, and they said, okay. I said, now why is this, So they said, well, you're going to have to call Baltimore. So after about, I called Baltimore the first time, and they said, you have a 3-hour wait. And then I'm like, well, I can't wait that. So I go the next day, and I got about noontime, and they said 2 hours wait. So I'm like, okay. They said what time they got on. I timed 5 minutes to 7 o'clock in the morning, which would be 6 there, here, where I'm at in Missouri. I called them, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to know what's going on. They go, oh, well, you're on the international plan. Every year you have to prove that you're still alive. I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you send me some information? They go, well, we mailed you the paper. I'm like, okay, to your post office box in America. I'm like, okay, I asked them, I said, how does that make sense? You know, I'm about 13,000 miles away from my house here in America. How am I going to pick up some mail there? I said, why didn't you mail it to my place there? They said, oh, well, also, we do send you mail, but all the time. So I have to, when I get back to the Philippines, I have to figure out what's going on. I don't ever get any mail there. I've been here 4 years. I never received a letter or anything from anybody. One time, well, I did have, got one time, my brother sent me a DVD that he made of home videos, and he mailed it to me. And it took exactly 6 months to get it. And that, so I have to figure out something else. So, you know, I'm like, well, I said, I can't come back to America every year just to pick up a paper and sign it, you know, to say, well, I'm still alive, you know, because the ticket I brought was an expensive, it was $700 one way. And then if I go back in about this time, and if I go right back, it's going to cost me almost $1,000 because it's kind of like a peak time of the year to fly right now. It's a lot of money just to pull out, you know, to get your Social Security straightened out every year. So I'm having it. I told them, what happens if I switch it back to America? And they said, oh, you don't have to prove that you're alive anymore. That's amazing. So I just told them, I was all right, you know, just switch it back to America. They, well, you got to fill just another form out, and it was the first one was for 71 something, a whole bunch of numbers. The second one was the 72. So I had to fill out the 72 form and say that I'm changing address and changing countries and changing where I live again. So I had to go and I talked to my brother about using his address and his post office box. That way, you know, it's stable address, and I had that done. Then the second thing is they said they're still going to send me a letter, but it won't be every year. It might be 2 or 3 years. And if I don't want to come back, I still have to come back and fill that out. So the next thing I'm going to do, and this is a suggestion for everybody else, if you have somebody you can really trust, sign a temporary right for them to sign papers. I don't know, I just had I guess I get to my age and that, I couldn't remember the exact word. It's guardianship, okay? Temporary guardianship that they can do things for you while you're gone. And that's what I'm going to sign. Here I met a lawyer, he said give him $60 and they'll fill out the papers and give it to me and have it notarized, and we'll send it to the Social Security office and we'll send it to the bank. So if I'm not in America, there's some banking issue, and I can't sell it there in the Philippines, and I can just tell him to go in and he can represent me to do that. And that's what I'm going to do because, yeah, that was ridiculous. You know, I get here. Now, my plan was to come get my bank card, my W-2 form, and fill out my taxes because I still owe taxes from, I need to do my taxes. I don't know if I owe or not. And 21 and 22. So I left in February of February 11th when the Philippines opened. But I worked from January 1st there, so I still have those taxes too. So what I'm going to have to do is get those done and go. But I got my plan was only to be here like 3 weeks. I don't know if you get it done in 3 weeks or 2 months, 3 months, or 5 months. You know, because when I did it in the Philippines, it was a freaking nightmare. I applied in July. My birthday was in October. I applied early because I wanted to get, as soon as I'm here, you know, I planned out my money, my cash and stuff to make it until maybe December. I brought enough money for that, you know. I'm like, I'm going to get in the Philippines because I didn't know if they're going to shut down the country again. Last time when I was here in that 2 years, they kept opening up the country. So by the time I planned something to buy a ticket to try to get in, then they closed the Philippines down because of the pandemic. And it went on like that for 2 years. So when they had that opening, I literally brought a ticket within 3 days of when they notified that it was opening up. And I brought, they said all married people who's married to the Philippine people can come in on February 11th. I was flying out 6 o'clock in the morning on that day. to get here, to get there. And that. So anyway, now I'm stuck here, and I don't have to stay in America until I know that everything's okay, because I don't want to get on an airplane again and fly back to the Philippines, and they say, oh, there's an issue, you have to come into an office, and I have to buy another ticket and fly back to go in that office. No, I'm going to do that myself, because I'm just wait here until I know that check is cleared in my bank. I might just wait for 2 checks to clear my bank just to be 100% sure everything's okay. So, don't know what to do while I'm here in Missouri. It might be a month, might be 2 months. So I might go back to work, and then had several people say, oh, how long are you back, John? We're short on help. So I might try to get a simple job, something to cover my expenses while I'm here in America until I go back. And maybe also make a little bit go back. But then you know how it is when you're on Social Security and you're not at full retirement age. I am not at full retirement age, so I found out there's a cap at $1,800 I can make a month. And I'm not for sure if that's gross or net pay. So on being the safe side, I have to figure out, well, what would the 1,800 total deductions be? And then that's how much I have to set my earnings at. And so I'm going to go in and talk to Walmart and Waffle House. Here I'm at Waffle House now. I'm going to do Walmart first, and if they sent a message saying that some of my co-workers, friends there, they told me that they need help if I need to come back in. That's where I was working at when I was stuck here for 2 years on that pandemic, trying to get back into the Philippines. And if they do, I'll do that. But if not, then I'll come here. Because when I was here in the time before, I'm just trying to get home, and then pandemic here, you got time to kill. So I was literally working 2.5 jobs. I would work 4 days a week here and Walmart. And then as soon as I got off, I went to a second job here, and I would work 8 hours here, and I was 16. And then I would have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, where I would work at Innsbruck as a chef for 3 days at 10 hours a day. So I was putting in a lot of hours. And basically, I had about 6 hours off from all my work during the day, where it would give me like 3 hours to sleep before my one job, and then get off, and then I would have 3 hours of sleep before I would go to my next job. And yeah, I'm pretty old to be doing stuff like that still, but if I'm stuck here for 2 or 3 months because I gotta wait till everything comes in, I'll do it again. I can handle 3 months of working double shifts every day. I'm pretty sure, at least I hope. Anyway, when I get back to the Philippines, I'm going to do something else. I've been in there now for 2 years, and the first 6 months was great. You run around, you're doing all the stuff, and after that, you got to have something to do. And occupied at times. I would love to sit on here and make YouTube channels and watch all my federal YouTube channels creators what they make, but I don't want to just sit around. I want to do a business or something like that. Since I'm married, I can do that. But where I'm living at, not for sure if I can, because it's a gated community and it sits off of the main road. So if I want to start baking or pastry, or sell a small restaurant or a small convenience store, it'd be a little hard to get people to come up there because it's so far off the road. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe start doing classes in cooking and classes in getting people prepared for culinary. Since that's what I did when I was here in America before. That's my career. I have a bachelor's degree in culinary, and my job before, I spent 7 years. My last job was to train people at the Hyatt. We would get international students in, and I would train them to what's it like to be in a fast-paced, high-dollar restaurant, how to run it. And I'm just not gonna do that. I'll do the fundamental 1, 2, and 3 of the culinary thing. Just set up classes, Gonna see if I can get the teaching license there in the Philippines, so where I can at least give out a degree or something when somebody graduated. Anyway, this is a cup of hot Joe. I'm gonna get on out here now and talk to you. Don't matter if the creeks rise today or not, because I'm an ocean away. Anyway, I'll be back with you soon. I'll let you know what's going on here in the Philippines. I'm sorry, here in America, until I get back to the Philippines. Anyway, from all you and me, good luck.